welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to do a video addressing how Ian and I have been handling the COVID-19 situation. As you guys know, we do have an apartment in Brooklyn, New York, and New York right now has over 100,000 confirmed cases of the coronavirus. It's a crazy time, it's terrifying, it's uncertain, and we spent a lot of time discussing our options and what we wanted to do. We decided it was best for us to temporarily move back to New Hampshire where our families are. We did not take this decision lightly at all. We actually came back about a month ago now on March 18th, which was a Wednesday, and the bus company that we take running between New Hampshire and New York actually stopped operating that following Sunday. So it was a very close call. We made the decision immediately after both of our office companies decided to close down their physical locations. As you know, almost all non-essential places are now closed. Ultimately, we didn't feel safe in New York, especially because we're still not sure how much worse this is going to get. We decided it would be better for us personally to come back here where we can help our families with anything they may need during this crisis, and in the same hand, they'll be there to help us. We were obviously extremely worried that either Ian or myself were already carrying the virus and simply not showing symptoms, which is a very common occurrence, especially for people in our age group. We were frightened that we would come back and simply pass it on to our parents. This was a huge concern and something we discussed at length. We actually quarantined ourselves after we got back. It kind of worked out in the sense that Ian's grandfather is at his home in Florida where he goes during the winter because it gets so harsh in New Hampshire. So we were able to move into his home in New Hampshire, which is where we've been staying. That's where I've started filming my videos. And it's also directly across the street from Ian's parents. Now that we've been out for over 2 weeks, it's actually been almost a month now, we know that we're cleared of the city. However, we are still practicing social distancing. We're not leaving the house for anything non-essential, especially because New Hampshire itself also has over 800 confirmed cases of coronavirus. So we're definitely trying to do our best to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. It was also a factor in our decision that by coming back to New Hampshire and moving into Ian's grandfather's house, we were giving ourselves a lot more room to be quarantined in. While we love our apartment in Brooklyn, there's the fact that it's extremely small. And while this isn't a problem typically when we're out and about doing things and when we're going to our offices, it would have been a little more hectic trying to quarantine ourselves there. By being in this house, Ian's able to have a space where he can focus solely on his work, and ultimately it's just going to be easier to quarantine from a bigger space. This isn't an option for everybody. I feel very lucky that we had this support system waiting for us back home and that we were able to move into this house as quickly and as unplanned as we did. Ian's job actually hasn't been impacted by the quarantine. He has completely moved his work with Sony Music Group online. So that has been really great actually in the fact that he's still collecting his regular paycheck. There have been very minimal disruptions. All their calls and meetings have gone onto Zoom or Skype or any other online platform that they're able to take advantage of. They have been doing a great job of supporting their employees. My jobs did not have as much luck. I had 3 jobs back in New York City. I was waitressing, which stopped almost immediately as soon as restaurants were told to close down. They gave us all a call and said, unfortunately, they didn't have a need for waitresses. My second job was being a receptionist at a marketing company. And while they did try vaguely to put my responsibilities online, it was ultimately decided that they didn't have need for a receptionist if there was no front desk to be taken care of. And then lastly, my internship with Penguin Random House was not interrupted. They actually did a fantastic job moving their employees online. They handled the pandemic really well. I continued to do my internship with them. However, that internship was set to end on April 11th. So now that that has ended, I was hoping to discuss some full-time employment with them afterwards, but now they, as well as many other companies at the moment, are on a hiring freeze. So it's a bit of a limbo state for me and my career, which is frustrating. There's no shame in being frustrated or disappointed. This was a completely unexpected pandemic. It has impacted people in crazy ways. Even if someone has it worse than you, don't feel guilty for having those negative feelings. They're completely expected. I've been reading a lot of studies that say this is going to end up being a traumatic experience for a lot of people. People are going to be showing PTSD signs. No matter how you're reacting to this, it's completely valid. Do not beat yourself up over it. So I am currently unemployed, as are many of my friends. A lot of people I know are going through the same thing right now. I have been trying to file unemployment through New York State, but with the amount of citizens they have, with everybody going through this crazy time together, it's definitely difficult. It's definitely not an easy task. Our apartment building has not specified whether or not they're doing a rent freeze. We're continuing to pay monthly as normal unless we get word directly from our landlord that they're going to be changing that, just to try and make the transition after this as easy as possible. It's also really hard being back in New Hampshire and not being able to see my family as much. My mom and I are really close, as am I with my sister, so it's really hard being back in New Hampshire and not being able to go see them. But thankfully we have been able to video chat. Ian and I have been video chatting all of our friends like crazy. I've had quite a few dates with my girlfriends over Zoom and Skype, which has been extremely helpful in just keeping my mental health sane. It's good to talk to people. Definitely reach out to those you care about if you find yourself feeling in a darker place. It is crazy. Ian and I are both extremely outgoing people. Being stuck at home is not something we usually do. I'm really thankful that we have internet at this time. It is the only thing that's been keeping me sane. But otherwise, we're really just doing our best to follow the CDC guidelines and keep not only ourselves, but those around us safe as well. Other than that, Ian and I have also been trying to exercise a lot. It is definitely one of the easiest ways to bring up your mood, bring up your heart rate, get a sweat going. Ultimately though, just make sure you guys are staying safe. Make sure you're taking precautions to keep those around you safe as well. We're all in this together. If one person goes out and spreads it to others, that's what's gonna keep this going. So stay home, stay quarantined, stay safe, and keep yourself busy. Video chat your friends. You don't have to be alone during this time. Do some hobbies, take up a new craft or an activity, and know that this is going to end eventually. Be sure to subscribe down below to continue getting updates from me. I'll keep you guys updated on our situation and what we're deciding to do and how we're handling this crazy time. And in the comments, tell me where you guys are from. How is your area handling the pandemic? What kinds of things are they enforcing? What kind of rules have they implemented? And how are you guys dealing from it at home? Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.